Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jamila Daura. Thank you for clicking to watch this video. If you are new, welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, hi. Thank you all so much for your support in the last 2-3 months. I can't thank you guys enough. I know I asked you guys to ask me questions so we can do a get to know me tag, updated get to know me tag for this channel, and it's taking so long to bring it to you guys, but here we are today. I'm here ready to film and answer your questions. If you have asked the question and you'd like to know what the response is, stay tuned and let's get right into it. But if you did not ask a question, still watch, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it at the end of the day. So let's get right into this get to know me tag. Yeah, but the first person that sent asked a question is from Aisha Baloni, and she said, Assalamu alaikum. Not a question. I like your contents. They are inspiring and educative. Also, you have a wonderful family. Allahumma barik. Thank you very, very much. I really appreciate it. It is see, people kind of say things that being on social media is some sort of validation that women are seeking and all those things. I'm not on social media to seek validation. I do this to inspire people. I felt like being a woman and navigating the world of womanhood as a mother, as a child, as a wife, as your own person is really difficult. If you're an OG on this channel, you would have heard me say this one or too many times, that I am always here to showcase a bit of my life that might inspire someone, help them navigate and be more confident in themselves. So that is why I'm here, and I appreciate it that you guys find my content very useful. I've been getting a lot of that on Instagram, like people sending me a message, I love you, I love what you do. Thank you very much. Allah reward each and every one of you. The second person, Sally Huzainab, she asked she was like, then I think when she asked this question, she thought I was in Nigeria. I was back home. I was already back in the States, and she was like, a Q&A with Fatih, that is my younger sister, would have been good, but we did not getting that done. I'm expecting her in the States at some point. So hopefully when she gets here, when she's here, we'll be able to do that. I have this whole office to myself that is very private, and back there in Nigeria, it was just so difficult. Like, if the kids, I know I can just easily send the kids to my parents' house and do what we have to do, but she's also working. By the time she gets back, she's so tired, and the day she's at home, she's helping with the kids. So yeah, hopefully soon. The third person is Firdausi Aliyu Adam. She was like, Nigeria is a very nice place to live. We have everything except leadership, especially when you have income. I enjoy living in Nigeria and I miss the country whenever I go abroad. See, Nigeria is home any day, anytime. Just like she said, if you have the money, you can live the life that you want in Nigeria. Even if you don't have the money, just the environment is refreshing. It is being around your loved ones. There's just something to relieve you in Nigeria. However the hardship is, there's just something either to make you laugh or the people's gestures. I'm not saying that bad things don't happen, but I just feel like there's something about Nigeria that is so blessed, that brings people together, no matter the kind of divide that people are pushing online, on social media, trying to say that, the country cannot work together. The country is working, and it will work in our favor by the special grace of Allah. So yeah, Nigeria is a place to be, and I love it so much. Okay, so now the same person, Salihu Zainab that talked about me. I'm just confused here. So she said, yes, a Q&A is nice. We are looking forward to it. My question is, when are you finally settling back in Nigeria? Listen, this talk of settling back in Nigeria is something that has been in the pipeline for 3 years now. I'm at a stage where I am so over the American life. It is not serving me. It is not. See, when I say this, people feel like one is being ungrateful, but the life abroad, right, is not all that, in the sense that I am used to the life of people. I'm not a lonely person. I did not grow up in a lonely environment that I will enjoy this America. Like, America is very, very lonely. It's a lonely place to be. No matter how many friends or whatever, I was not born here. I was not raised here. So it is very hard for me to really understand their way of living in a way that I can adapt to it. So yes, going to Nigeria is something that is we are really planning, in the next years, a year, 2 3 years, I'm not sure, I can't put a timeline to it. Everything is in the hands of Allah, but deep down us, we are really considering it. Stephanie asked a question. She said, what are you most excited about coming back to Nigeria? She asked two questions actually. What do you think about boarding schools for children? And three questions actually. What are your friendship deal breakers? Okay, so let's take it one at a time. What are you most excited about coming back to Nigeria? My family. See, anytime I'm in Nigeria, it is for my family, my mom, my dad, my siblings, my extended family. They are my peace and calm. Like, I just, most especially the fact that I know that I can't ever, or we as a family, all of us, it's going to take special occasions for us to be able to unite and be under the same roof, sleep, wake up like we had in Daura. So those are rare occasions. We all are growing up. We are all adults. Our last one is 21 years old, and he has such a mind of his own that he's so matured. He's an adult. So we see how our lives are spreading out, and everybody's just going about his own thing, and it scares me, and it kind of reminds me that they are all I have. Yes, I have husband, I have children, but these are the people I've lived most of my life with, the good, the bad, the ugly. So they are my peace and my calmness. So anytime I think about Nigeria, I just think about my family, and that is my motivation to always go back home and enjoy the good food, and enjoy the calm, and enjoy freedom, and enjoy being taken care of. Because if you're abroad, I don't know who's going to take care of you. Like, between you and your husband, both of you are trying to balance life. It's very hard. But when you're back home in Nigeria, I know that, oh, my Fatima, I miss her so much. I have Fatima, I have Latifa, I have all those people in my parents' house, Aisha. I have all those people that I can always count on to help me take care of. I have Malam Kabiru to drive me around. Who does not want that life? That is the life I grew up with. So it was a very big adjustment for me to move to the States and have to do all these things by myself. Wash, clean, drive. Oh my goodness. No. So Nigeria, all this luxury that I'm able to enjoy and afford in Nigeria is why and my family, that is why I miss home, and that is why I'm always excited to go back. What do I think about boarding school for children? I am not a fan of boarding school, most especially in this very, very hyper sensationalized stage of life that we are in. Unfortunately, parents are still able to take their children to boarding schools, but there is just that damage that gets done, to an extent that you don't know the state you're going to get your child back, whether in Nigeria, whether abroad. I want to, and for me, maybe my older sister and my younger sister can consider taking their children abroad, to boarding school at some point, because they are products of boarding school in different ways. I am not. I never for once slept outside of my parents' home to go to school. I went to school from nursery, primary, secondary, maybe university. But I was growing up. My parents had instilled value and maturity in me that I knew I could not, stray away from. I'm not saying it does not happen. Sometimes you send your children to university, you don't get what you sent out of the house back. So, but boarding school, I sincerely am not considering it for my children, and I wouldn't advise anybody to consider it. I know people do it for convenience of provision, like when both parents have this very thriving career and they feel like children in the house is going to get in the way. But if I was to find myself in a situation where we both have to decide on that, and maybe decide that, okay, because we both can't handle our careers and handle children at the same time, we want to send the children off so we can focus on career, I will make that sacrifice of sitting down at home. I can't, even now that I have to go drop them at school and come back, I think about God. I need them back because I just don't know what the environment is outside there, and the unknowns, the danger of so many unknowns in this age and time. No, I will not advise. See, stay at home and take care of your children. Stay at home and monitor your children. Stay at home and watch them grow and instill in them values. Like, we need value building. Like, a lot of things are going wrong now, and you just want to be there so that as they are happening, you know how to like curtail, undo, protect, all those things, prevent. Prevention, they say, is better than cure. So think about that. What are your friendship deal breakers? I I don't know. I don't know if I have friendship deal breakers. Let's see, maybe lying. I think lie. Like, if you lie on me, on my head, that is it for you. And that is it. I am a people's person. I think I have good people's skills. So I know a lot of people, friends with a lot of people, but I'm able to balance my relationship with them because, again, I know how to control my environment and how people treat me in such a way that, or how I present myself so that people don't treat me anyhow, don't handle my friendship with you anyhow. So I feel like you don't know, you can't control the other person, but you can control yourself. So I do most of the work of actually laying a foundation to our relationship. So I don't know how to put this in such a way that it doesn't look like controlling, but I'm not that person that is easygoing. I want to be in your life. I want to know what's going on. I give you space. I love space, so I give people space, and I don't talk too much. So I don't want you to talk too much to me, because too much talking, then you start divulging, start saying things, start. I just want I just live a very controlled life, and I love it that way because it just makes me avoid certain things that can complicate relationships. So, but the moment you can do all of your stupid excesses as a human being, we all have it, we all have our excesses, I can easily overlook it. But the moment I hear that this my friend said that, Jamila said that, we are done. Or something, again, in the sense that if you kind of misrepresent my person, right, go talk bad about me, that is it. Every other excesses, if you're a talkative, I will let you talk. Some people just love to talk. If you eat too much, you come to my house, I'll feed you. Yeah, but it's just trust, because the moment you start lying, you're ruining friendship, and I just feel like that there is nothing you would ever say from your mouth that will make sense to me, that I'll find truthful. So yeah, I think lying, it's the friendship deal. Don't lie, please, no matter what it is. Even spiritual, by religious standard, lying is not good. So please don't lie. If you lie, that is it. That is it for my friend. But I mean, when it comes to every other person around me, right? Maybe family members, that I'll just stay away from you, and I won't necessarily cut you off. But if you're a friend, I am cutting you off, and you lie against me, I am cutting you off. If you're a serial liar, I am cutting you off. I don't want to be witness to your nonsense on the day of Kiyama. So yeah, lying is something I can't tolerate in people. Stephanie asked a lot of questions. Thank you, Stephanie. You're making this interesting for me. She said, okay, no. Before Stephanie's question, there's actually a question in between. Somebody, Onyare, said, which state are you from? Katsina State, of course. Jamila Daura. I'm not, the Daura in my name is not a husband's name, it's a family name. Thought you are Hausa, but then I heard you speak Ebira. Yes, my mom is Ebira from Kogi State, Okene, in short. If I want to brag about my mom's family, I would say that they are one of the biggest family in Kogi State, in Okene. I don't know the whole of Kogi State, but in Okene. So she is from the famous Sheikh Ahmed Rufai family. She is from a family of scholars. If you're watching this video, this is the answer to your question. Her uncle was also the late emir or king, the Ohinoi of Ibera land, Sani Omolori. And yeah, that is the family my mom is from, and there is a whole heritage from my mom's side of the family. Even my dad's side of the family, when we went to Daura, I went to one of my great grandma, and she was like, she was meeting the mister for the first time, and when we all greeted her, my dad, my mom, and they left because we were also going to another house, one of our children's house, and it was a big compound, and she called me back, and she called the mister back. She held us, and she was like, she wants to tell us something. She's a very old woman, like in her 90s or so, and she was like, she wants to tell us. She was like, ku yan gidan jikan liman, ku yan gidan jikan liman, ka ku bar garin nan a hannun kowa, ku dawo ku dau garin nan. She was just saying it in a way that she was like, ko dai in rike jikan nan nawa ne, dan na san in na rike shi za ku dinga dawowa saboda shi. That is Ansar. So that should she hold Ansar and keep Ansar away from us, so that she knows that there is a ransom and we will always come back to Daura because of Ansar. So that is how my dad's family is. She was now giving us a story on how my dad's great, that is the Jikan Liman himself, the one that has the name Jikan Liman, how when he came to Daura, there is a place, a masjid or something, that it was all piles of death, and he kind of cleaned it away and built there, and that was how the Jikan Liman, because he was a Malam, and he started the spiritual journey as well. So I'm from a very strong spiritual family, both sides. Alhamdulillah for that. Stephanie's question again is, Stephanie asked, how long is the best time to date before marriage? To date before marriage, sincerely, whatever that works for you. If you are Lord of the Rings and that ends up in marriage, lucky you. See, this dating thing has become what it is. I was in different relationships at different times, that the one that now led into marriage is not the one that was the longest, it was the shortest. So I feel like there is no formula to it. If you meet that person, and when you meet that person and that person feels like you are worth their while, and you automatically feel like this person is worth your while as well, and no matter what the stumbling blocks might be, you people will be able to surmount it. So between the mister and I always have this date at the back of my head, because I had gotten out of a relationship, and 1 week after I met him officially, although we were in the same NYCCDS group, I never knew who he was. I thought he was my friend's friend that I knew outside of NYC. They were buddies, and I thought they were actually an item, but they weren't. And like, I don't know how to say this in English now, but I guess it was just meant for me, right? So 3 years long relationship, and I met someone, and within 1 month he felt I was the one. Relationships that usually lead to marriage are the ones that are usually problem free. I feel that way. Like, it just happens at different stages, and every stage is so successful in such a way that, as you're advancing in that relationship, whether it's 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, or 1 month into it, it's happening, it is going to happen, and it is just left for you to nurture it to the point of where it actually happens. So there is really no time frame to this. It's God's timing, and is usually, and never fails, it's the best timing. When is your birthday? So my birthday is September 22nd, and yeah, I do not celebrate it. The older I get, the more I feel withdrawn from what birthday means in the Western way. And there is more that leanings towards spiritual feelings. Like, I just begin to think about my life. It gets very emotional because sometimes I deep think, and sometimes I have to just always caution, I don't think too much, because I mean, look at where Allah has put you. Don't think too much, forward thinking. So when I now think about my life backwards, it gives me a great sense of gratitude. And when I think about it moving forward, it gives me a great deal of caution. Like, gratitude and caution are the two ways I approach my birthday. Thank you for Alhamdulillah for my life, for what it's been, where I am right now. And my caution is that I'm going to die someday. I don't know when it is, and I always find myself begging Allah, praying to Allah that He should beautify what is left of my life. So yeah, there is that caution. So these two things, there is always the excitement. I get excited. Of course, I can't run away from the excitement because I have family members, all these people asking me, calling me, singing for me and all that. But deep down, I'm grateful for that. But at the end of the day, it is more of a very introspective moment for me than the celebratory thing that everybody does. Go to studio, I've never done that. I should at some point go to studio. Oh, I did it for my 30th birthday. So moving forward, Obise song ni. Hey, sorry, I don't want to butcher your name, but this is definitely a very hard one. So the person just asked, do you prefer Nigeria to US? Yes, any day, anytime. Ramat Sali, who asked, hi, I love your content. Can Ansara and Khairia speak Hausa or Yoruba? She's just curious. So they understand Hausa better than they do Yoruba. Their dad is solely responsible to teach them that language, and he's doing a very terrible job at that right now. So I think the last question here, Atala Mommy asked, please, how do you pack Turarongwita when you're traveling? So I haven't actually packed Turarongwita in a very long while, but the days that I do, I make sure that they are in a sealed jar, very tight sealed jar. Then I use tape, the sticky tapes. I use it to wrap the mouth wrap, everything. Then use cling film to wrap it further. Then throw it inside my traveling box. And I don't put it, I like to put my Turarongwita inside my clothes, the box that I have my clothes or the kids' clothes or the mister's clothes. It just keeps the place smelling fresh, because no matter how hard you seal it, I swear to God, those Turarongwita know how to seep through. So it's better my clothes smell nice than my food stuff smells nice. So that is all I do. So the last question is on Instagram. On Instagram now, she said, hi Auntie JD, saw your upcoming Q&A, but what I want to ask is a bit personal, and that's why I'm bringing it here. So if it's okay by you can share it. How do you cope with your health and managing your home, your kids, your husband? How was your pregnancy journey? What advice do you have for people living with chronic conditions, married and unmarried, especially women? Wow, this is actually very personal, and whoever that, I don't want to say her name, unfortunately, since she sent it personally to me. And so how do you cope with your health? Listen, as someone that has an autoimmune condition, right, it is something that I have lived with all my life, and there's been very terrible times, very hard times, and now I'm at a stage where it's not even as bad as it used to be. So Alhamdulillah, healing is in the hands of Allah. So I always feel like sometimes the Shaitan wants to sneak in and he tells you like you're suffering, but then I remember that there is no pain we feel in our body that Allah does not give us reward for. So I just feel blessed that I am one of those people that Allah has inflicted with such an ailment, and I get rewarded for every time it brings me down. It is very difficult because there are so many things I want to do, but if I attempt, that is why, again, my life is, again, I say it is such, it feels like is enclosed in a way because I try to protect myself. I take things one at a time. I don't burden myself with too many things because I know my triggers. I know the things that flare me up. I know the things that are not good for my body, whether food wise, and just every activity that I do is done with great consciousness. I make du'as a lot. That is my starting point for coping. I make lots of du'as. I don't play with my azkars. Sometimes I go to bed feeling shitty, like yesterday. Excuse my French. I was so tired after making dinner and I could barely feel my legs and I struggled. I went to bed, but I woke up today feeling great. Alhamdulillah. That is my life. This is how it is every day. But with the children and the mister, we were actually talking about it this morning, and the mister, based on Nigeria, and the mister is like, I should just pack my bags. We'll be back to Nigeria. I'm like, I'm not there yet. I don't feel like we are there yet, moving back to Nigeria, because he feels like I need the help. You can always tell the difference when I'm in Nigeria versus when I'm here all by myself. I get less symptoms, less flares when I'm in Nigeria. The moment we hit it here, every day, every other day, every week, I am down with something. So it is a big struggle. The children do know that mommy struggles, but they don't know the name or nature of what it is that I struggle with. But anytime they notice that I'm just laying down by myself, they ask questions. Mommy, are you okay? They they hold my head, they pray for me, they kiss me, they hug me, and they just immediately make me feel better. So that is how I cope. I honestly don't dwell on it anymore. It's like, when you travel in the north, say Atambeka ya gajiya, sai kace gajiya ta bi jiki, to that is it. Wallahi kuma ta bi jiki, alhamdulillah. I can't even complain, because when I look at my situation and I look at other people, I just feel like I have it. It's not a competition of who has it worse, but sometimes you just have to say alhamdulillah for every experience or trial that you face. So yeah, I take my medications. I have medications, but those are just medications to help me manage. Subhanallah, we lost a very close family friend, and we lost her to the same thing that I have. And the day I found out that we never knew that was what she had, and we lost her and we didn't know what it was, then we found out that this was what she had. And so was it scary? Oh my goodness, it was. I remember going back, we were in Nigeria, and I remember going back home that day, and I felt like I needed to be taking all my pills. Those are moments of all my medications at once, but that is a moment of fear. But something must kill man, Nabi. So I just pray that I always pray to Allah to prolong my life for my children. I can't imagine leaving them at a very young age. This person that we lost, TMI, trigger warning if you can't watch this, but she had kids. She had kids, very young kids like myself. So it's really scary. Sometimes it can be scary, but when I think about me being in America, I feel like that is an answered prayer. That is an answered prayer, because when I started getting real medication for my condition was when I came to America. So I feel like coming to America was one blessing that Allah alone directed for me. The way I met my husband, got married to him. This was what Allah was preparing me for, to be able to have this life and answers to some of my health situation. And yeah, here we are. She asked, how was your pregnancy journey? So I always tell people that when it comes to pregnancy, don't give me first trimester. Wallahi, if pregnancy can be baby in the stomach, go to the hospital and push out, we take it. But that first trimester, it was the same for all three pregnancies. No one was better. In short, Ansar was worse. Ansar's pregnancy, oh my goodness. I was pregnant with him for like 6.5 months, and I don't think I ate up to 30 days in that 6.5 months. I couldn't put anything down. I just couldn't put anything down. And yeah, it is the same morning sickness, but I was the cutest thing pregnant. You could hardly ever tell that I was pregnant because of the way my body is. I'm very curvy, and my pregnancy was in the right places. My chest area, my hips, stomach was very petite and very cute. I was lean. I did not have big nose. I did not have any big anything. Everything was just very proportionate in my body, and I was so grateful for that. All the darkening of the skin and everything that people experience, I did not experience it. Again, I'm grateful for that. The journey, the pregnancy is, delivery is always the easiest for me. Wallahi, delivery is easy. Not that I don't feel the labor, but Allah is Allah. Alhamdulillah, He knows how to balance our lives, and He did that for me because I just feel like, oh, you cannot suffer twice, was what Allah kept on doing for me. So He made one part difficult and one part easy. So delivery has always been easy for me. Just have it at the back of your mind that you'll be pregnant there are 12 months. So you'll be pregnant for 9 months out of 12 months, almost a year. You'll be pregnant for almost a year. So it takes a toll on you. But the moment I scaled through first trimester, every other thing was just very easy breezy for me. Again, Ansar's pregnancy was the one that wanted to be very peculiar in its own way, but the nothing I experienced that in his pregnancy that was very different from the other two. And another thing that I noticed with Ansar's pregnancy was my food aversion. So there are things I still can't bring myself to eating as much as I would love to, like puff puff and dry fish. I hate those things. I withdrew from them when I was pregnant with Ansar, but after I gave birth to him, I thought I'll be able to love them back, but I can't. I used to make puff puff very, very often, but now I can't. I just don't get excited about puff puff. I love dry fish. I don't get excited about them. So yeah, that is one thing that I noticed that was very different. Then it changes you. Nobody should tell you otherwise. No matter how skinny you are, even the skinniest of person will still feel some sort of change in their body once they have gone through pregnancy. It might not be as obvious as the person that is fleshy like myself or all that. If you're fleshy, if you're on the medium size, your bodies will go through changes. Just be graceful with yourself, be kind to yourself, and enjoy the moment. The third question, she was like, what advice do you have for people with chronic conditions, married and unmarried? See, depending on your chronic condition, support system is everything. Not even just for illness. For everything that you have to do in this life, you need a very solid support system. I heard of this thing. I heard an audio on Instagram. You know, everybody has podcasts now, but this one made sense. And she was talking about the way life has been, the way people kind of push people towards choosing lonely life in the name of independence, right? Just be by yourself and all those things. But honestly, support system is everything. It is what has helped me. I moved from being from my parents' house, even when I was in university and I didn't have my parents. I had my friends that, God bless them, they were there, they supported me whenever I was sick, my medication. I had a friend that he had my medication, like he had extra of it. Wilson, he's Christian. He was my class. He was like my younger brother because I was older than him. I did not go to university the same year I finished secondary school. There was 3 years. So the cohort I went to university with were people that I was already like 3 years older than. Yes, there were people that were older than me, but most of my classmates were people that was like 3 years older than, even 4, and they were fresh out of secondary school graduates. And I was 3 years already at home, And Wilson was that very young boy, and he took closeness to me because of my academic this thing, and he wasn't like that. And I was teaching him, I was tutoring him and his other friend mathematics and some other courses. And the moment they discovered that I had a health condition, there was a day that I collapsed and I was admitted in the hospital. And they came to visit me, and the doctor was there, and the doctor was like, make sure you take your medication. So one of the medications was just a multivitamin, over-the-counter medication, but other was prescription. So the one that was multivitamin, I have to take it like 3 times in a day. And the problem was that back and forth school, sometimes we have lecture from morning to night, and one day I forgot my pills. I didn't take it to school, and there's a pharmacy as well within our school. There's a clinic, and he quickly went to get it. And that one that he got, I don't remember taking it home, but one thing I now remembered was that he had it with him. So God bless you wherever you are, Wilson. He was such a very kind person, and so support system is always very important. Here today I have the mister, I have the children to count on, and I can't emphasize on what support system does to you. So if you have a chronic condition, never be by yourself. Always have people around you. Be up on your medication. Don't take that as the end of life, that the end of your life or your damaged good. Because one mistake is that a lot of people feel like let their condition define them. I never let it define me. Wallahi, the only thing I cannot do is what Allah has not given me the will to do. Anything I want to do, I am able to do it. Again, there is caution. I'm not foolish to say that I want to go climb Mount Everest tomorrow or go dive in Atlantic Ocean, but I'm just telling you that whatever you put your mind to, you can do it regardless of your situation. I hope I have answered your question in a way that ends your curiosity. Thank you all so much for participating and asking this question. Stay tuned. I'm going to be bringing another edition of Q&A, but for something different. So stay tuned to my community tab. I have enjoyed answering your question, and I feel like I kind of gave background to different areas of my life to people that are new on here. Thank you all for always supporting me. Please subscribe to my channel if you're seeing my face for the first time. And if you do have more questions that you'd like to ask, leave in this comment section of this video. I'm going to create another video for it. Let us keep doing this. It doesn't have to be personal, just anything about lifestyle, beauty, whatever. Ask, and I'll be sure to note them down and create another video to that. Please subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and see you in my next video. Bye and stay blessed.